Hello and welcome to the I Can Do podcast with Benjamin Lee. We're here to talk about tips and strategies to have an I Can Do mindset. Life is what you put into it. Get the most you can. Here's your host, Benjamin Lee.
It is Saturday Sideline Coaching with me, Benjamin Lee, sitting right next to you, wherever you may be, giving you some thoughts and tips when it comes to public speaking. I've been preaching for 15 years, worked for Pfizer for 8 years, I've been an ultra speaking coach for 5 years. I've coached a variety of people and companies, CEOs, entrepreneurs, YouTubers, you name it. I want to share some tips when it comes to public speaking. Public speaking is one of the most scary things, I think, for a lot of people. When I was younger, I was very shy. It took me a while to warm up. Mr. Nelson, if I remember correctly, in my English class, he told me, Ben, when you came into the class, you never said anything. Now you won't be quiet. Please shut up. Sometimes it takes something like that for us too, right? Where you're in a new situation, a new environment, and you can be really reserved. But in the process of time, you get a little bit more and more comfortable. But what if we could go into a situation, a presentation, a conversation, a meeting greet, a networking opportunity, whatever the case may be, where you don't have to wait an hour or 2 or 3 hours to get more comfortable. The reality is, sometimes there's going to be some nerves around public speaking. That's okay. I like what one person has said, that fear is like excitement without the breath. What happens so often for so many of us is that we have this fear, we have this energy right before we get up. Even after preaching full time for 15 years, I can still feel it. And you don't want to suppress that. You want to embrace it. You can use it for energy. You can use it for confidence. But that does require some practice. It does require getting used to that feeling. So as you think about public speaking, a couple of simple things just to get started. What I'd love to eventually do is work with you one-on-one via Zoom or something like that, where we could really dive into some more thoughts and games and exercises. But I want you, number one, to think about, to get better at public speaking, number one, you have to speak. You can read books, you can watch YouTube videos, you can listen to me. That's not going to work long term. Actually, it may not work at all. Sure, you can get some tips, but you have to get out in the arena. So I want to encourage you, whether it's just the daily conversations you have with your family, or striking up a conversation with a neighbor, or maybe even if you're even a little bit more bold, starting a conversation with a total stranger. It could be as simple as, when you go to Starbucks, ask, how is your day going? Are you having a good day? Tell me about your day. What did you do fun over the weekend? All of these things go a long way with just getting more acclimated with speaking. All right. Number two, don't worry too much about the ums and the ahs and all the filler words. Those could be an issue. But for right now, we just want to get more comfortable getting out there in the arena to speak. The reality is, even using a platform like Riverside, they have these filters. And look, Riverside is fantastic, where you can eliminate the filler words, all the ums and things like that. Well, you can do that. And sometimes that may show that you are nervous. And that really, I think, is a sign of taking a time to breathe, pause, and to give yourself that space. And that's easier said than done. That's a scary thing for a lot of people. But don't get too caught up at the moment with the filler words. I'd rather have you get out there and speak and have some of those than not speak at all. All right? So get out into the arena. Don't get too bogged down with the filler words. Number three, take a breath before you get started. If you're going up to preach, or if you're going up to give a talk or a presentation, take a quick breath. Collect yourself. Put your notes in order if you have notes. And then you can dive into your presentation. Give yourself that room at the very beginning so you can start strong. And then finally, number four, we want to finish strong. What can easily happen, and I hear this a lot sometimes with preachers or maybe even with podcasters. I have been guilty of this. How do I land the plane? How do I wrap this up? How do we get to the conclusion? So you want to focus on not just starting strong, not just taking that breath, but wrapping it up tightly at the end where you have everyone's attention and they're waiting and leaning in to see what you're going to say. Those simple things, and they're not necessarily always simple, but those are a great place to start. And you have to have some opportunities to feel this turbulence. And so one of the things that I like to do, one of the games I like to play, I call it the in conclusion game. And it's a simple prompt that you could use at the end of a presentation or a meeting or a Zoom call or a podcast. And using that prompt in conclusion will help you to begin to wrap things up. It was funny. I did a sermon last week and one of our elders gave a presentation. So I didn't have the typical amount of time, the 40 minutes that I typically would have. And my goal was to preach under 20 minutes. So when I got up there, I said, my first two words, I said, in conclusion. And everybody started laughing. But I did that really out of fun. But also, it's a reminder for me, I don't have all this time that I typically have. I have to keep things tight and focused. So that's a simple prompt that you could use when you're wrapping things up. Take the breath at the beginning before you get started. Get your notes in alignment. Smile at the audience. Get in the arena and practice. That's the only way you're going to get better. You just can't keep reading books and YouTube videos, all right? So in conclusion to this episode, have fun when it comes to speaking. Feel the fear or the energy that you may be feeling, and no, that's okay. That may never completely go away. But one thing that can help it is getting out there, getting started, and getting those reps in. Now, if you want to help or need more help, reach out to me. I can do coaching at pm.me. I can do coaching at pm.me. Love to work with you. Take care and God bless.